Good catch. Okay, it's been recording now. And thank God that we realized early in the class. Okay, guys, I'm not used to you know recording classes lately. I'm using Blackboard in the other class, so I don't have to think about that. And some way I get used to that. Okay. So this, like I said before, this is gonna be completely ignored. So this is completely ignored. In other words, whenever you see a string with a method like this, forget about it. It will not return anything. It's completely ignored. You have to store it in a new variable because it returns a new string. Okay? That's not S2 anymore. That is another string. That will be S3. Okay? I hope you guys understood this. Okay? Let's continue, understanding string immutability. Okay? Let me create another class and let me call it string equality. Okay? And now I'm going to say PSVM, our friend, and I'm going to say string name equals young. Okay? Does it ring the bell? Does it ring the bell? Name equals John, right? Let's continue. String another name equals John. Okay? Does it ring the bell? Another name equals John. And the other one is going to be string John. And then it's going to be Joe plus HN, right? Which is the same as John, right? Correct? And then string new name equals new name, new string. And then we're going to say young. Of course, this is not necessary. Okay? So this rings the bell. 3 variables that are created like a literal, string literal, name equals John, another name equals John, John equals John. And then with the new operator, a string new name equals a new string, and then new name inside. And the new name is John. Okay? So we already know that these 3 strings are the same because they point to the same location in memory. And this one is different because we are using the new operator. When we use the new operator, it immediately creates a new string in the heap, not in the pool. Okay? That's something that you have to understand. When they compare a string literal with a string with a new operator, they are completely different. Okay? Because they have different hash codes. They're not located in the same location in memory. These 3, we have the same hash code because they're pointed to the same string. Okay? The same location in memory. And you want to see it. Let's see it. So we say sysout, and we say name hash code, right? And we say plus system identity hash code, and then we pass name, right? And then I'm going to do the same with the other 3. Okay? I'm going to say another name, hash code, and then another name, right? I'm going to do the same with John, and then we're going to say John, and new name, and then new name. Okay? So if I run this, I get Oh, I have to run the new program. I'm running the other one. Okay, so now we have that this three, you see, they have the same hash code, which is an integer that is returned because they have the same location in memory. You see? Interesting, huh? That's what makes strings immutable. The Java virtual machine will not create a new string if the string already exists in the string pool. Okay? So I can say that the string, the hash code of this guy is going to be this, this, and this. Okay? And this one will be this one. So remember that when you create a string with the new operator, it's a new string. When you create a string little like this one, it will check in the pool. If it doesn't exist, then it creates a new one. But if it exists, it just points to the same location in memory. Okay? So we can see here very clearly that they have the same address in memory. Okay? And that is exactly this what we see here. Okay? Nice. Guys understand?
Yes.
So we continue here and we say sysout name equals another name and then we say plus exactly that. So what do you think we're gonna get here? What are we getting? Huh?
True. True.
True. True.
True.
True, right?
Yeah.
Because if they have
exactly.
the same hash code, it means they are the same, right? Good. We continue. Now we're gonna compare name with John. Okay? And I think this is a little redundant, but for you guys to understand it better, what do we get now?
Same thing.
So we do this and we get true,
True.
right? And now we're going to compare a dear friend name with new name, right? And then new name, and what do we get?
False.
False, right? Okay, good, very good. So this one returns true, right? This one returns true, and this one returns false. Okay, good. We continue. Now we're gonna use, and let me do this. Let me do this. Now we're going to do with the equals method. Okay? What do you think we're going to get here?
True.
True?
Yes.
True. Why? Because remember, the equals method checks the content of the variable, right? Not the location in memory. Location in memory is checked by the equals equals. And this one checks the content. Okay? Let's do now name and John. Just like we did before. Name and John. What do we get?
True.
We get true as well, right? And now let us check name with new name. And what do we get?
True.
Let's see it. we get true as well. Why? Because it's checking the value of the variable, not the location in memory, the content of the variable. So all of them return true, right? Okay, very important that you guys understand that. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so now I can say string str1 equals ABC equals ABC, right? And I say string str2, and this is not correct. It's ATR, okay? ATR2 equals AB. Okay? Now I can say string str3 equals str2 plus C. Okay, so let's do system. Let's say str1 hash code. We say system that identity hash code, and then we say str1. Okay, and I do the same for the three of them. So what do you think?
One and three are the same hash code.
Okay, let's check.
No.
You see? Because the problem is that you're using a string
Yes.
that already has a value. It's not like the
Oh.
first one that we do two strings. You see?
Oh, okay.
That's a different thing. We're using a string already that exists and adding as concatenating with C. So that will give you a different string. Okay? So very important that you understand that. Now, if I do this, what happens now?
They have the same.
They have the same location in memory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So be careful with that. That could be a little tricky, right? So they don't have the same location in memory. Very important. Now, let's do this now, right? Let's do this and say, okay, so let me put these numbers here. A moment. So you guys can understand this. And this. Then. So guys, basically what we're doing here is comparing objects. Okay, remember the string is a class, and we're comparing an object of the string class, which is str1, str2, and str3. Those are objects of the class string. Okay. So now I'm going to say str1 equals str2. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this guy and just put here plus like this, right? And then I'm going to do the same, but it's going to be 1 with 3. Okay. So then what do you think is going to happen here?
Are different. False and false.
Why?
Because having the same hash code.
Remember, guys, when we have the different hash code, this will give us false all the time. because remember that this guy checks the location in memory. Okay, but what if I do this? Right?
False.
What do you think?
And true. False and true. False and false. No,
False and true.
False
Because
and true.
1 and 2 are not the same, but 1 and 3 are the same. They have the same value. Remember, the STR2 is AB plus C is ABC. So this is content. Okay, so this one will return false. And this one, sorry, returns false. And this one returns true. Okay. And this one returns false. And this one returns false. Okay. Very important that you guys understand that. Don't forget that. Very important this, guys. Equals checks location in memory. Equals method checks content of the variable, or in this case, the object. Okay? Location of the object in memory. All right? It's very important that you understand that, guys. Very important. Okay? Any questions? Are we understanding? Good stuff?
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Good. So we continue with the next topic. So now we're going to talk about the string methods, because a string is a class, and as a class, it has methods, right? And how do we access the methods? Just by using the object. Okay. So I'm going to put here, create a new class and call it string method. Right. I'm going to just use our friend. Without this friend, we cannot do anything. Okay. So I'm going to have string str, another string, and we're going to say Java is fun. Remember that a string is an array of characters, okay? And like any other array, it has a zero-based array, a zero-based. So it means that the first element is going to have index 0, okay? Let me put it here. So we have Java is fun. Okay. Right? So now we're going to say that the first index is going to be 0. The second is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So guys, can you tell me what is the length of that particular string? What is the length?
9.
9.
Are you sure?
11.
11. Oh my God.
No.
Guys, the length is the amount of elements in the array.
9.
So we have 9, right? Okay, so someone
Sorry,
answer.
I'm talking on.
And the space?
No, the space, no. No, the space
Okay.
is a character, but it's not an element.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, it's the amount of elements, right? It's the amount of elements in that particular thing. So let us check the string length. Okay. So we say method length, and we'd say this out. Length. Length equals. And then we access the length method from the object. String
dot length.
length. Okay. And then we get, well, I have to select this one. Okay. And then we get 11. Yeah, we're counting the spaces. I'm sorry about that. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's 11.
Yeah, it's counting the spaces too. Sorry. Sometimes I get a little, I have many languages in mind, and it's very weird to see an array with such spaces. It's just an example.
Yes.
So it has 11 length. And of course, this will be, the space will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing one.
Yes, you jump from the S to the F. Between S and F is 7.
It's supposed to have the 10. Because remember, always the index is length minus 1. Always. Okay. Okay. So let me separate a little bit more. So here. And then that's easier to understand. Okay.
So where there is A, it should come 2.
I'm sorry?
Where you have written A on top of it, it should come 2.
Which one?
On A, on top of it, it should come 2 because 0 and 1 have a space.
No. There's no space here. This is this array, guys.
Okay.
The space that we have is between A and I and S and F. So that makes 11 because we have 9 letters and 2 spaces. Okay? So that makes it length 11. So the index is always length minus 1. Okay? So length is 11. Right? So returns length. Right? Very good. So now we see the char at. Okay? That's another method. So we're going to say, okay, sys out, str, char at, and we're going to say 0. So what do you think it's going to return? What is the character that is on index 0?
J.
Correct. So let's just see it. There you go. Okay. So this method returns the element at that index position. Okay. So we have here J and the 0 position. That's why we get that. Let's do another one. Let's get str, the chat R. Let's do 2. What do you think you're going to get?
V.
Which one?
V as in Victor.
V. Okay, so we get V as in Victor. Okay, but what if I remove this from here, guys, to make it more difficult for you? Okay, and then I would put this guy here and say this out, str, char at, and I say 6. What do we get?
Esas and some.
Remember, don't forget to count the spaces, okay? So we get S, right? Now we can make it more beautiful and say, you know, element at position 0, right?
Do a for loop and print them out one by one.
No, you have
Yeah, why not?
you have to understand this. Okay, let me do something here. Scanner input equals new scanner. Okay, scanner is a class to accept input from the user. Okay, right? And it takes a parameter system in, right? So now it just imported the class scanner by itself. Before we had to import it manually. Now IntelliJ is super smart. That's why it's called IntelliJ. I guess that they name it like that because it's intelligent. I can say number, right? Number equals or we can say sys out, right? Enter a number, right? From 0 to 10, right? Now we say number equals input, get the object of the class scanner, just get the method nest int because we're expecting what? We're expecting an integer. And you know, this is what I get sometimes confused because Python, I'm teaching Python now, but Python has a dynamic typing. It means that you don't have to specify the type. In Java, you have to specify. Okay? And that's when it gets confusing sometimes. Okay? So we're going to say, let's make it dynamic. Okay? So we're going to say number. Then we say this. And now we say position number. Okay. We say is, or maybe this, right? Right? And then we say number. Okay? Dynamic. Let's make it dynamic. Okay? So now let's just comment this. And we run this. Okay? We run it and we say enter a number from 0 to 10. Let's just give me a number, guys.
9.
So 9. And then we get element at 9 position is U. Right? U. Let me put this back again what it was. Okay. Right? Perfect. So now I'm going to put here, instead of putting print ln, I'm going to put print. So it just prints this next to the character. No, that's fine. ln is fine here. What is not fine is fine here. Okay. It's going to put it next to the character. I don't want to, you know, type it beneath. I want to type it right here. Right? So I'm going to run it again. And then I say, enter a number from 0 to 10. Give me another number, please.
4.
4. Okay. What happened?
Probably a white space.
Oh, yes.
It's
yes.
a space.
Yes, right. Okay. Right. Okay. So
can we validate that in case it's
yes.
0 or is a space instead of putting 0, this is a space?
Yes. Okay. So we can say if chart and str chart at number equals empty space.
Mhm.
Okay, I know what happens. Okay, empty space. Then we can say, okay, we can say enemy, and then we can say empty space.
Yep.
Right? Right? And then we can say else. Well, I don't need this, guys. I have only one line. Don't forget that. So I can put this right here and then else right here. Okay. And now we have another problem, right? What if the number is -1 or the number is 11? Okay. Just think about that. If the user inputs, you see, empty space, right? Or we can say if it is another number, let's say 1 or 2, then we get V, right? So that could be one reason. So what if the number is, if number is less than 0 and or number is greater than 10, then we can say this is out
Out of range.
invalid entry. Okay, try again. Now we can have a loop here that will ask the customer, the user, several times until we enter the correct. Okay. Right? Okay. So we have this, and we enter number -1, and we get invalid entry. Try again. And of course, we have to catch an exception here, because this is string index out of bounds. Okay, so we have to have some sort of an exception here, like a try catch, and we're gonna talk about exceptions later. Okay, and this try catch is gonna, grab this exception here when the customer enters this guy. Okay, and gonna catch it there. Okay, in the meantime, let's keep it the way it was before.
Oh, you do an else if. Oh.
Now you have to catch an exception there. Okay, because it's giving me an exception error right here. Index out of bounds. Remember, the exception goes because we're going out of this range. Okay, and when you go out of this range,
I know, but what I'm saying is, go down. You could have done it the way you had it. Can you paste it again? I don't know if.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, if number is less than 0 or number is greater than 10, it's going to give you this invalid entry, try again.
Right.
And then if it's not within that parameter, right, then you can do else if and do the rest of it. It's not going to go to the second portion. Right now it's running the first if, and then it's running the second if, which is the reason why it's giving you an error.
You think so? Are you sure about that? That's right.
Hey.
That's right. So you said this else, and then we say?
No. The second, delete that.
Beneath?
You need to join. So it's if this happens, do this. But if this is not true, right? So
okay.
Else if.
Okay. Else if. What do you mean, Maria?
Well, then you test it again, because if the number is within 0 and 10, right, you want to test it to see whether the number is an empty space or not, or it's going to print out the character.
Maria, the problem is that this becomes true, right? Because
So what happens if it's not? Let's say that you picked number 2.
No, I'm entering, this becomes true, because I'm entering -1, right?
No, but let's say that you enter 2.
No, if I enter 2, it's fine. If I enter 2, it works. If the problem is I enter -1. So it's gonna print this guy. It's gonna print this guy because this becomes true, right? This becomes true.
You need a nested, in other words, you need a nested if, so all of what you have right now it's valid.
Yeah, but the problem is that this is evaluating the true, and else will never be evaluated.
What happens if it's false? What happens if you enter a number 2 and if it's false, right?
It works.
It's going to evaluate to the next one. Yes.
Correct.
But you don't want it to run the second portion of the if, right? You have the first if.
Mm-hmm.
If it's true, it's going to say invalid entry, try again, but it's going to go through the second if because it's not dependent on the previous one.
No, it doesn't go to the second if because it throws an exception. If it throws an exception, we have to catch the exception for the program not to crash. Otherwise, it crashes. It doesn't even get here. Even this is true, it prints the message, but it throws an exception. Let's try it again. I'm gonna print 11, right? It prints the message, but it throws an exception.
It throws an exception because the string is the number is out of bounds, right?
Correct.
Okay. So
if I put an else statement here, right? It will never be evaluated because this is true. If this is true, it doesn't get here. It only gets here if the number is between 0 and 10. It gets here. But when I'm entering
exception, okay, so let me see if I understand this. You're saying that the exception happens because you're out of bounds, not because it's running the second if.
Correct. But you don't deal with exception with an else in this case. You have to use a try catch.
No, my assumption was that the exception was because it was running the second if. That's why.
No. Once you have to use a try catch to be able to catch that exception. Okay? And use here probably index out of bound or something like that. Index, something like that. Index strings.
String out of bound,
Like that. Like that. And probably, do here, maybe sys out, e-message, get message, something like that. Okay? And then I can put this guy, here inside, and then I can put this guy here. All right. And now the program doesn't crash. It shouldn't crash now, right? And
move too many things at the same time. Hold on one second. Let me look. Hold on. Let me look at what you're doing.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I can put that. It shouldn't crash now if I put -1 or, you see, still throws an exception. So I have to take a look at that and see what's going on there. Okay. So I will take a look at that when we have some time. Okay. And of course, we're not entering here. Maybe if I put this here. Not here. Okay. Yeah, when we get to exceptions, we're gonna take a look at that because otherwise we're gonna, let me declare this guy globally. Otherwise, this guy would never be recognized. So I can put here as a static variable. Okay. Okay, and now it's recognized here. See? And now I can see, and this is the guy. Okay. So if it doesn't work now, I don't want to spend more time on this. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to do anything. I'm going to work on that later. Okay. This is something that we improvise here. We're under pressure right now. Okay. So let's just pretend that the number.
Hold on before you move on. So yes, the assertion here is that when it's running, when you run this this code, as it goes through it, it knows the length and it knows the number of characters and the position of them. And that's the reason why it gives you the exception.
Okay. But the exception is happening here. Okay. The exception is happening here, not here. So I have to give it a thought because when you enter number, the string doesn't even know, or this string doesn't even know what number it is until it gets down here. Okay. So this is when the string gets a problem because this is the one that, so if we are going to use an if statement, it should be somewhere here. Okay. Let me just remove from here. Okay. Let me just remove these guys from here. Okay. If we're going to use any if statement, should be here. Okay. So we can just manipulate this a little better and say if, okay, if, right, number is less than 0 or number is less than 0 or greater than 10, then we can say this out invalid entry, try again. Try again. And then else we can bring all these guys here. Okay?
That's what I told you to do.
Yeah, but we were doing it before. Yeah, Maria, we were doing it before, not here.
No. That's what I was telling you before. That's okay. That's okay.
I didn't understand what you said.
We came to an agreement. That's okay.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you said. It's just that
No, it doesn't have an error. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. But remember, I am the one under pressure here, and we're improvising, right?
No, you're doing good. You're doing fantastic.
Yeah. So it just takes a little thought, and then you will come with that. Because this is, if you think about it, the first time that the array touches the number or has contact with the numbers right here.
It's just that it was running, before it was running both if statements, right? So now you have a wall. The else becomes a wall.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's never going to run the second portion of the if statement after the else if the first one becomes true. It completely breaks it out. It breaks out of the if.
Correct. So, good. So we can get number 5, and then we get I, right? And we can get number 6, and we get S. And we can get number
-11.
9, and then we get that, and we get any negative number, -5. We get invalid entry.
There you go. That's okay. Awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah. So if you want to prove this, we can put here a while loop, right? Until the number becomes positive, right? Between 0 and 10. Okay. So, right. Okay. So let's continue. We have this already. Very good. Now we're gonna have, for example, we're gonna have number again, right? Number again. But now we're gonna say enter, or maybe we're gonna say system out. We're gonna use another method, and this time it's gonna be index of. Okay. It's gonna be index of. Okay. And we're gonna say str index of, and then we say a. Okay. What do you think we're gonna get there?
The position of A.
Correct. So that will be that what? That will be what index?
But there are two A's. So which one? There's going to be the first one?
The first one.
So we get.
Yes.
It seems that this is kind of. Okay.
One. Just put in
we get one. Because it evaluates the first one. Okay.
So it only evaluates the first one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense because you're entering one parameter.
Yeah, once it becomes true, that's it, right?
Yeah. So the other one is, let's say, A, and then starting index number 2. Sorry, str, index of, and then we put this. Okay. And IntelliSense is very intelligent. It's telling you char A and from index 2. Okay. So this is pointing to the second A. Okay, because we are starting at index 2. So that's going to be what index? 3, right? So we now print this. And we get 3, right? So we're here saying character A starting at position 2. Okay, where in the array is A. Okay. Okay, let's do another one. Let's just have str index of fun. Okay, what do you think it's going to return?
A 9, 10.
It doesn't return 3 numbers.
I don't see what you do.
8. It just returns the first one where it begins. So we have fun, but it doesn't return because you're asking the index, right? You're asking the index. It's not indexes. It's just only one index where that word is. It begins an index at index 8. So that's why it prints number 8, right? Let's do another one. Be careful with this one. Sys out, str, index of, fun, and then 10. What do you think?
From 10 is.
This always reads from left to right, right? So it's going to return a number that is not expected. And it returns something that you're not expecting, -1. Why does it return -1? Because it doesn't find it. So when this index of returns a -1, it means that whatever character you put there, it doesn't find it. Okay? So on 10, it finds N, but not fun. Okay? That's why it doesn't find this. But what if we put, for example, N? You think it returns what? Well, I guess it will return something. It returns 10.
10.
Right? Returns 10 because it found it.
No, I didn't understand why it printed -1.
Because it didn't find it.
But what it went to look, because it's fun.
It's going to index 10. It's going to start index 10.
Okay, right? 10 is N.
And then 10 is N.
And what is looking for then?
It's looking for fun.
The whole word fun.
Correct. Even if
okay.
The beginner's form.
Even if it is one letter.
Okay, of course, it's not going to find F because it's N.
It returns -1 because at 10 we have N.
But if it was N, it will return N?
It returns 10.
Sorry, it returns 10.
It's index of that.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we put N, it returns 10.
Yeah, if you put N here, like N here.
What if we put none, N-U-N?
One moment. Then it will return 10, right?
So when you put the front index, includes the number that is front index. It's
Correct.
not the from there, then after that. No, includes that number.
Yes. So what if I put Java? So we get
0.
0.
0 because Java starts at 0.
What if you put none?
What if I put this? -1 because starting at 2, 0, 1, 2, Java doesn't appear. The entire word. You see? So this returns -1. This returns 10. This returns -1. This returns 8. Okay, because the word fun starts at index 8, right?
Could you do the line 35 instead of FN?
That I did it here. Well, I did it before. Anyway,
but with the front, it will do the same, even that doesn't have from?
It returns N. That's what you want?
Yeah.
It returns 10. Okay, let's do it. Because
so
N
is the same even that doesn't have front index. Oh, okay.
Correct, the same thing. This is unnecessary.
Okay.
For a particular character at that particular index. Okay.
Okay, what about if we put Java and the front index 0? It will look for it?
Of course. Let me see.
Okay.
You see Java? STR?
Yes. So
STR.
line 37, but front index 0.
Okay, so you want Java?
Yes.
And index 0. Okay. Zero.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Nice.
Good stuff. Okay. So now we're gonna see the method substring. So string, what it does, it just work with a portion of the string. Okay, a portion of the string. So string. Okay. Okay. So we can do this. This out, and we can say str substring 8. Sometimes substring goes from one index to another one. Okay. Well, doesn't do it here. All right. So I now print this. This is what we get. What we get. Fun. So it begins on 8, right? All the way to the end. Okay. So we're saying when we pass this parameter 8, we're saying from index 8, get me everything else. Okay. If we say from index 6, we get space fun. You see? Number 6, space fun. Okay? It would get only one portion of the string.
What happens if you want the left of that substring, not the right of the substring?
Then you have to start from a less index and put a limit. Let's see it. So we can say out, and we say str substring, and then we say 0 to 5. All right? And that's gonna give us Java. Remember, we have 0 to 4, right? 5 is not included. So don't forget that when we have the from index to index, that to index is not inclusive. Very important. So here we return, this is what we return, guys. Java space this. Remember that number 4 is a space. Okay. If we do 6, this is what we get.
Java I.
Java I or Java E, whatever. Okay. Right? But we want Java only. So it returns, this is a space, don't forget that, because the to index value is not inclusive. Understand? Guys, do you have any questions?
No.
Why don't we enjoy a good break for 10 minutes? Good idea, huh? So we're gonna meet back here at 7. How about that?
Okay.
So talk to you later, guys. Okay, guys, let's continue. So we were saying that this is, it returns Java and space. Okay, let's have another one. Let's say Java str substring, and then say str, and then substring, and then say 4, 4. Okay, and then we have 6 and 6. Okay, so maybe 3 and 3. Okay, so we're gonna print this, and then something that you guys have to understand is that whenever you have the two index and the front index and the two index is the same thing, it's gonna print an empty string. Okay, very important. It doesn't give you an error. It gives you an empty string. So as you can see here, we don't have anything. Okay, so this returns an empty string. Okay.
I'm sorry, just one question. Do we have to put the space after the comma?
No.
So, for example, for the
no, it's
exactly in there.
It's just the standard, you know, just to make it you know, more understandable. Okay.
Okay,
like,
but it's not mandatory, but it's standard.
no. It's just more visible.
Oh, okay.
So guys, what do you think we're gonna get here?
Why you have to bring empty space on 3?
Because they have the same number. When the two index, when the front index and two index are the same. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're the same, okay, so what do we get here? You get it, Mr. Dent?
Yes.
It doesn't matter if there's a character in position 4. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter position 3. Okay? A position 4 or 5. If they have the same from and to index number, then it returns an empty string. That's why I put the two examples, because 4 is a space. How about this one?
There is nothing there, is space.
-1.
A string
Exception. Aha.
exception. So it returns because the index 14 doesn't exist. -1 returns when the character doesn't exist. But if the index doesn't exist, it returns index out of bounds. Okay? Very important. How about this one? What do you think it's going to return?
Does it compile?
Space.
It returns an exception in index out of bound. Why? Because the front index cannot be greater than the two index. Remember, it's read from left to right. Imagine if you start at 4 and then you have to go back to 2. Got it? So the front index has to be less or smaller than the two index. Okay? Because the front index value is bigger than the two index value. Okay? How about this one?
Fun.
Huh?
Fun.
Fun?
Mm-hmm.
Exception in the out of bound. Guys, you just told me that 14 doesn't exist. How can you have 14 again and say that that returns fun? Remember, this starts at 8 and finishes at 13, because remember that the 14 is not included, but 13, 12, and 11 don't exist. Okay, so this will return index out of bound because index 14 does not exist. Okay. Do you guys see it? Guys, do you see it?
Yes.
Remember, it has to go anywhere from 0 to 10. If it is out of that range, it's out of bound. Okay? Out of bounds. That's why 14 is out of bounds. 14 is out of bounds. This one is out of bounds too because you start from the list, the smaller number to a greater number, not vice versa. Okay? Now we have this out. Let's have another one. But this time, let's have two lowercase. Okay? So we say A, B, C, D, and let's say with two lowercase. Right? So what do you think it's going to return? What do you think it's going to return?
ABCD. ABCD lowercase.
Okay, let's check. You see, everything is lowercase. Okay, so return A, B, C, D, like that. So this guy will, affect everything in the string, and it will bring everything to lowercase. Okay. How about this one? str to uppercase. So what do you think it's going to print?
In capital.
All capital, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that returns Java is fun. Okay? Everything in capital. Guys, what if I do this? str. What do you think it's going to print?
Java is fun.
But how?
Original. The original Java is fun.
The original. Why?
Because we haven't assigned to anything.
Correct.
We are just changing the cases. That's it.
It means that strings are
immutable.
Correct. So if we do this, we just get Java is fine. Remember, strings are not mutable. So it's just affecting this at this moment in time only. It's not changing the string. The string continues to be the same. Okay? For that to happen, we will have to do this. str4, for example, and say, string str4, and then say str to uppercase. Then, if we say str4, then we have a big difference here. All right? That returns a new string. So this, right? This here is completely ignored because it returns because the expression returns a new string. Okay. This will print the original string. Java is fine. Okay. Guys understanding?
Yes.
You guys understanding? Good. So we have now another string, and we say string dog. And we're going to call the dog Lucky. So now if I say dog to uppercase, right? And I print dog, what do I get?
Lucky uppercase.
Lucky uppercase?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Guys,
Vale.
are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? We just did this here.
Yes, nothing. Doesn't print nothing.
Okay,
It's
it
just
doesn't.
Lucky, regular Lucky.
Anant, it doesn't do anything. Strings are immutable. I have to assign it to a different variable to be able to get that changed, affected. It doesn't affect the original string because strings are immutable. Okay, so this will not do anything because strings are immutable, right?
Yeah, if you put a string in front of dog, then it may change.
Correct. If I do this, then we make a difference. Okay? You see? Because we are reassigning that value to this variable again. But whatever you're doing here is a different string. It's not the same. So the value of dog before was Lucky, but now dog has a different value. It's a different string.
So is the hash code going to change?
Correct.
On
Correct.
dog on the first string and dog on the second?
Want to see it?
Yeah. I want to see it.
Okay, let's say system. No, sorry. Sysout dog equals dog hash code equals system and then dog, right? Now we have here this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different string.
Yeah.
A different string. This guy here returns a different string, right? So that's why strings are immutable, right? You have to assign it to a different or to the same variable. It's a reassignment. You give it a different value. That's why you get a different location in memory. Two different variables.
This is your proof.
This is your what?
Proof. La prueba de lo que. This is the proof.
Yeah, this is the evidence. That's right.
I read, yeah.
We continue. We're done with this. We're gonna go to, well, actually we continue with the methods. I want to create another method too, but I'm gonna continue here. Okay, so we're gonna have, well, why not? Can I rename this? Yeah, I can rename it. Okay, but I can say string methods too. Okay, so I can say string methods too. Okay, and then I can say psvm and have this say str equals Java with lowercase And then we say string str equals Java. And this is going to be 2. And then string str3 equals ja. Okay, so now this is out. I can say str equals str2, right? And then I can have this guy here. So what do you think we're going to get here?
False.
We get false, right? Remember that this guy checks what? What does this guy checks? What does it check?
Content.
Value.
The content, right? The value. So they don't have the same value because this one is uppercase J and this is lowercase j.
Oh, okay.
And of course, they have different hash code as well.
Yeah, I saw.
If they're different with this guy, they for sure are different with the location memory. Okay. Now let's do this. Okay, let's make it a little more interesting. Okay. So let's do this guy now. str equals ignore case str2. Okay. What do you think?
True.
True.
True. Right? Because this one doesn't consider this guy here. So it brings to everything to lowercase. Okay? Which doesn't change the value of the string. Remember that strings are immutable. If I print string again, str, I still get the original value. Okay? And if I print str1, 2, I get
J capital.
the capital. It doesn't change anything. At this moment in time, this particular moment, it brings str2 lowercase j. But it's only this time, unless we assign it to a variable. So it's always immutable unless we assign it to a variable. Okay, so this returns true. No, str, no, false. Okay, and this one returns true. Okay, let's do another one. This one. Let's do this. And then instead of this one, let's do ABC, right? And here, let's say ABC. Right? And here, let's do what's going on here? Okay. Okay. So this one will have to be in single quotations, and this one would be ABC, and this one would be ABC. Okay. So now Okay, so this one, well, guys, you already know this is true too. Okay. Right? Because that guy is ignoring everything. Okay, so this returns true. Okay, so now let's have another method. Say the method starts with, okay, and ends with. Okay, so this out, str starts with J. Okay, so that one returns what? True, because remember, this returns a Boolean value. So str starts with a J, so it returns true. So I can say here str starts with, right, J, that returns true, right? We have another one, and we say str starts with str3. What do you think about that one?
True.
True? C. Turns true, right? Because it begins with ja. It begins with ja. Okay? Right? Now the other one is, okay, look at this one. So this one is beautiful. str starts with, and then we say J to lowercase and then we say that. How about that one?
True.
True.
True? True, right? So it returns true. So let me close this and this. Okay. So that returns true.
How do you know all the
Or the what?
all the elements of the string, everything within that class? So if you, sorry, I'm getting tired. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you do str dot, does it give you a list of all the things that you can do with str?
Maria, I don't understand what you're saying.
Me neither.
Okay.
I'm asking.
Yes.
What elements or what is in the class when you type str dot something?
Yes.
How do you know what's in it? What's available?
How do I know? By just typing the object and then
This is what I want to know. How did you get here?
the dot.
The dot?
Yeah, that's object notation. There's an object here with the name str. Remember, the string is a class.
Yeah. I just want to know.
You get access to all the methods of the class with the object.
Okay, so
okay, Java, and then contains, and then J to uppercase, right? So what do you think about that one, guys?
True.
True?
Yes.
True, right? Because Java contains the word J.
J to uppercase.
What if I remove this guy?
False.
False.
If I hover it, it says it's always false. Because Java doesn't contain that. Okay? So be careful with that. Okay? So if I do this, okay? Beautiful. Okay. Let me play with the single quotes here to be able to use this one here. And then I will use this one here and this one here. And this one here, this one here.
Single quotes after equals.
Okay, yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here.
Double quotes on the end. Oh, no. No. Okay.
Okay, I don't have time for these guys. I'll do it this way and that's it. So return true. Okay? It's just a matter of having good, time to determine. That's super easy. So we have this and this returns true. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we're gonna use the just replace. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put here this end with, right? So I'm gonna put this here, sysout, str, and then I'm gonna say end with va. What do you think?
True.
This str ends with va, right? So that
Yes.
makes sense, right? It returns true, right? Good. Now this one is the method contains. It's when we have this guy. Okay. Now let me have this guy and say str contains str3. How about that? What do you think? str contains str3.
True.
True?
Mm-hmm.
True, right? Right? And the other one is this one, and say str contains f. What do you think?
False.
True. str
Oh, wow.
contain f.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Sorry.
True. Okay, so this is the contain method, right? Now we have the replace method. A string, my string, equals Java plus space plus is plus space plus cool, right? So we have that string. Now we say this out, my string, which is the object, my string, and we say replace A, that's the old character, for A, new character. So what do you think is going to happen? It's going to replace that, right? You see? Whenever you see an A, it will change it to an uppercase. Okay, that's replace. Java is cool. Okay, now we say sys out my string replace, and then we say space, all character, and then we're going to put this guy. Okay, and then whenever this is space, it's going to put an underscore. So we have this here, and we say space underscore. Okay, the other one is going to be my string that replace, and then we're going to say whenever you see is, just substitute it with underscore. Okay, now I do this and I get this. Okay, guys, what would happen if I do this now? My string.
Same thing. Java is cool.
Nothing.
Nothing, right? Because strings are immutable. So we're just repeating and repeating the same thing, right? Java is cool. Nothing happens. Remember that unless I
find it again.
So unless I assign it to a different variable, it would not change the value.
Yep.
Okay.
They're the same. You can say my string equals, right?
I'm sorry?
You can say my string equals, my string dot replace is replacement underscore, and then it will replace it.
Correct. In that case, it will change because it returns a different string. Right? It's always the same thing. It doesn't change. Okay, so the method trim, you know, as you can see, you cut something, right? You say Java, right? Trim, okay? And then if we print that, we get Java, okay? It's just Java. It just will trim any trailing space, right? After this. Like there's a space like that. Okay, but in this case we'll not do anything because it's just there's no space after the last letter. Okay, now if I do this, we have Java is cool like this. Java is cool, and then two spaces, right? That will print that with the two spaces, right? We don't see the spaces, but I mean, we see there's a space here, but we don't see anything because it's, I mean, we see the first one, but we don't see the other ones because there's nothing after that. But what if I do this? If I just copy the same thing, right? And I do trim, right? That will, you know, put everything in the same place, first place. You see? Trim eliminates every single space, either before the first letter or after the last letter. Okay, no trailing spaces and no spaces before the first letter. So be careful. So guys, let me do this. String, my string 1 equals Java is cool, right? And then string, my string 2 equals space, Java is cool. And then dot trim. Do you think they have the same hash code?
No.
What do you think? What if I do this out and I say my string 1 equals my string 2, and then like I always do, and then I say this, right? What if I just print this? It's false, right? Even if you try using the trim here, it doesn't matter. You're returning a different string. Okay? They have to be put the same to be able to do that. If you see a trim next to it, they become, you know, enemies. What if I do this?
True.
True.
Why? Why is it false here and true here?
Because one checks the location and the other one checks the content.
Okay, and these two have the same?
The same content because we trim it.
So we can check here. We can say sys out my string 1 hash code, okay, equals, and then I can say system that identity hash code and say my string 1. Okay, and then I can see the same thing, and this will be 2, right? And this will be 2. So if I do that now, I get that I have 2 different hash codes. Okay, so this one returns false, and this one returns true. And this one returns this guy here, and this one returns this guy here. All right, of course, in your computers, it's gonna be different, okay? This is based on my computer. Okay? It depends on the memory of your computer. Okay, so we're done with this one. Let's talk about method chaining. Method chaining. That's another thing that's very popular in Java, and it may be your exam. Okay, method chaining. Method chaining is when you use several methods one after the other. Okay. So now I can say PSVM, right? And I can say string start. And I can say spaces, So Java spaces and then, sorry, string. Good. So now we say stream trim equals start trim, right? And then we can say sys out trim equals trim, right? Now, if we print this, we get what we already know. Nothing new. Okay, so we get trim equals Java. No spaces anymore. Okay, so I can say here on trim and then start, right? And that's what I get here on trim. You see the spaces and then trim. Good. So now I can say string lowercase, okay, equals trim to lowercase. Okay, and here we are changing the string, right? Because we're assigning to this string here. If we do trim lowercase, that will be ignored, but we are assigning to this, so we're returning a new string. Okay, so we say lowercase equals, and then lowercase, right? Good. So we continue. String result equals lowercase, then replace, and then we say J for J, right? And then we say this out, result equals result. Okay, and now we see that we change the particular J for capital letter. Okay, so this one returns Java. Returns Java. Returns Java. And returns this. Okay, good. We continue. Now we say string another result. And this is when we see all the method chaining now. Okay, so we say, you see, 3 spaces Java, 3 spaces, and we say dot trim, okay, dot lowercase, dot replace, and then we say J. Okay, so we accomplished in one line whatever we accomplish here in all these lines. Okay, that's called method chaining in Java. So the result of this will be put to this method, and the result of what this method will be worked here. So you work from left to right. Result of this, then you apply to this. Result of this, then you apply to this. And the sys out another result, then we get this here. Exactly the same as here. Okay, so now I can say another result equals. So guys, do you understand what happened here?
Yes.
Okay, so the result of this will be used to replace, to lowercase, I'm sorry. And then the result of this will be used to replace. Okay? Okay? That's how it happens. Now, let's see something. What do you think about this? Result equals another result. What do you think? What do you think it returns?
True.
True? Correct. Okay? So, why? Because in both cases, we did the same operations. Guys, if we compare, for example, this, str, what do you think? What do you think about this one?
Capital
True.
Java, true.
True? Okay? Because we get the same result. Okay? Remember that these guys will compare what?
Content.
Content. What if we just do equals?
False.
False.
False?
Yes, false.
False. Okay? And what if we do here? What do we get?
Also false.
Good? You guys understanding?
Yes.
How about the rest of the class? You guys here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, string B equals A to uppercase Remember that this guy doesn't change the value of A. Don't forget that. Okay? If I do here, sys out A, I get what? ABC. Don't forget that. Okay? This doesn't change anything. Okay? So don't forget this does not change the value of A. Okay? Very important. Okay? Now string C equals B replace B for B. Right? That replace C, C. Okay? Now we say A equals A. B equals B. And C equals C. What do you think that we're going to get here?
A is going to be lowercase ABC. B is going to be ABC uppercase O. And C is gonna be A uppercase, B a C lowercase.
Let's see. Okay. So first, we assign, B uppercase ABC. Okay. That's going to be the value of B. So B equals ABC. Okay. Right. A equals ABC. Right. Right now, we're saying that B replaces B for B. So then B or C is going to be A, B, and C, right? And then you're going to replace C, right? But C. And then it's going to be A, B, and C. Okay? You're replacing the B that is capital by a B that is lower. That's why you get this, right? And then that C that is capital is the O char is going to become C lower. That's why we see this. Okay? So this returns ABC. This returns ABC. And this one returns this. Now we can have some if statement here and say if A equals ignore B, then we can say sys out strings are equal. Right? How about that? Do you think that's true?
Yes.
Okay. It should print strings are equal. Okay. Perfect. Because we're using the ignore equals ignore case here. Okay. Method. What if I say this? If A to lowercase the trim that equals and then B to lowercase to trim we say sys out equal. What do you think?
Equal.
They're equal?
Yes, it's equal.
Correct. So it doesn't matter how many methods they put. You always have to be careful and understand that they're there to confuse you, but you don't want to be confused. Okay? So you have to be read carefully, right? So you don't make a mistake. Okay? Very important. Any questions about this part? I think it's pretty straightforward, right?
No questions.
No questions whatsoever? How about Maria? You're too quiet. You're never quiet.
You know what? Yeah, no, I am very tired. I'm trying to keep up. I have to look at this video again.
Okay. We have covered so much in 2 weeks.
This is a very powerful class. You know, strings are very powerful.
Super.
in almost any language. So
yeah, now we're gonna see another guy. Okay, and let me create another package here, and let me call it StringBuilder. Okay, StringBuilder. All right. Well, I can tell you that with StringBuilder, StringBuilder is mutable. Okay, so it's something that you guys need to understand. StringBuilder is mutable. Okay, so I'm gonna create a class here, and I'm gonna call it string, and that's a class, by the way. StringBuilder is a class that has its own methods. Okay. Okay. So now I can say string my string, and then I can say empty. Okay. So I can say for loop for char C equals A, C equals, less than or equals to C. We can say C++, and now we have this guy. String operator, and then we say C. Okay. Okay. So now I can say sysout my string. Okay. So now if I print this, okay, sorry. I'm getting the 26 letters of the alphabet. Okay. So I can say sysout and space there, and then I run it. Okay. So for every chart, say chart equals A, we start with A, right? And then as long as C is less than, as long as all the numbers that are the letters that are gonna be incrementing here, as long as they are less or equal to Z, then C is gonna increment, and then we're gonna be concatenating that, right? So maybe I can leave a space here, probably, and then it will print a little bit separated here. All right. See? Maybe a little space here. Still, let me see if I can move this a little bit to the left. Okay. Okay. So the 26 letters of the alphabet. Okay. Guys, you understand for loops, right? We saw for loops before, right? So C is just a C. It could be, well, in this case, a character. It could be anything. It could be B. It could be, any letter. We just give it a name C to make it more meaningful. Okay. So it's going to be A. And then as long as that character is less than or equal to Z, then you're going to be incrementing, and then you get all the ways to 26. Okay. Now with StringBuilder. Okay. With StringBuilder. Let's do the same thing with StringBuilder. StringBuilder is a class. Don't forget that. Okay. So we say StringBuilder. And usually when you start with StringBuilder, you give it an SB name. It's very common to use SB with StringBuilder. Okay. And then we create a StringBuilder, right? It's creating an object, right? And then we say for char C equals A, C less or equal to Z, then we do this C++. Then what we're gonna do, instead of using this concatenation, we're gonna say SB append C. Okay? So because the method that StringBuilder has is append. String doesn't have the method. It's a method from StringBuilder only. Okay? So now if I print this, so this is out SB, I can get here the same result. Okay? Doesn't do anything. Okay. Don't worry. Good. So now it's a C, and that's it. Okay? So that's what we can do with string builders. And we're going to see a bunch of methods that string builder has. Okay? So guys, you see the difference? You guys, you see the difference?
Yes.
Concatenation doesn't exist with string builder. Concatenation is for strings, right? So we're using a powerful class here, string builder, to append the characters to the string builder object. Okay? Now, we continue here and we say string builder. Let's create another object of the class string builder. And of course, IntelliJ is going to help me find the class. I can say builder, that's another name that many people use. Builder new, string builder, and then we give a value. We say start. We give a value. You can pass a value to the object, to the class. Okay? Remember, when we talk about constructors in classes, we're going to see that this is a constructor that the string builder class has. Okay? You can pass a value to that constructor or not pass a value. So it's optional. Okay? So now
so a string is immutable and a string builder is mutable.
Yes. The only class that is immutable is a string. Okay? We can say append, and then we can say middle. Right? Okay? So what do you think is going to happen here? What do you think is going to happen? If I print builder, what do you think is going to happen?
Right. Start dash middle.
See here?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to create another string builder object, and I'm going to call it another builder. And then we'll say builder dot append end. Okay. So now let me print builder, and let me print another builder. So let me use the beautiful way that I've been using here, so it can be identified easier. Okay. So now if I print it, I get these guys here. You see? Now something interesting happened.
So you really don't have to assign it. You could say, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
You really don't have to assign it to another.
No.
Builder.
You don't.
You can say builder.append-middle and then builder.append-end, and it's going to change builder, right?
Change the value, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because StringBuilder is mutable, is like numbers, like integers, floats, any other type. The only one that is immutable is straight strings. Okay, so I can be appending and appending and appending and appending and appending. If I say here builder append English, right, and then I'll print builder, I have English here. You see?
You do a chaining with StringBuilder.
StringBuilder, not
builder.append.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome.
So you can see it's mutable. Okay. If you do that with a string, for example, if you do to lowercase, for example, unless you assign it to a variable, it will not change. Okay. With StringBuilder, it changes. Okay. So here, StringBuilder is builder equals start, middle, end. Another builder equals start, middle, end. And then here, builder equals start, middle, end, English, Spanish. Okay. Interesting, very interesting. Okay. Now, if you do this, builder, well, let me comment this because I want to compare builder with another builder. What do you think that we get here?
True.
True, right? Because they're the same, right? Now, what if I do equals?
Also true.
Okay.
What happens if I want builder to be a star dash middle, and another builder a star dash middle dash end?
For example, okay.
So my question is, when you do the append, you are appending everything to both
Yeah.
variables, right?
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want just one of them
Right.
to have one and then the other to be continue appending.
Yeah, I know what you want. You mean both to have the same but created separately. Is that what you mean?
No, I want one of them to be, for example, we have builder start, middle, end, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want builder to be just start, middle, and another builder to append more things, start, middle, end, Spanish, English.
Okay, don't assign it. Don't assign it and continue working on another builder. Is that what you mean? Because this is convenient for us. This is for convenience, right?
Okay.
This is for convenience. We're doing this to compare later, right? But I could have built both separately and not assign the value of builder to another builder.
Okay, I missed that one. Sorry.
This is just convenience.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have here, this out, and we say builder hash code, right? And we say system identity code, not coach, builder, okay? And now we're gonna do the same thing with another builder, okay? So another builder. I guess that you already know what's the result is gonna be, right? Right? So we get this and we get that they have the same value. If these guys that are true, I mean, these guys are true, it means that they have the same value, the same location in memory. Okay? Okay. If I print this, okay? If I print this, if I have a number, say num1 equals 5. Okay? And I have num2 equals 5. Right? And I says this out. Num1 hash code equals system num1, right? Num2. So what do we get here? That they have the same, right? The same location in memory because they have the same value. Now, if we do this out, num1 equals num2, right? Right? What do we get? True. Now, with num1, we cannot do this. It doesn't exist because that's a method for string and StringBuilder. Okay? But the reason is that the same as these guys, they have the same hash code because they have the same value. It happens with the StringBuilder. The only one that is very finicky and picky, it's string.
Bless you.
Thank you. Is the string class. Okay, I just want to put this example here for you to see the similarity between other guys. And when it comes to this guy, then it's a little different. Okay. So we do this, right? We still have the same thing, but if I just do 128, and 128, they have different. You see? I think it was in the first day of class when we saw that if the number with the integer class, if the number is between minus 128 and 127, they have the same hash code. When it's outside that range, the hash code changes. If I put 127 here and 127, I print it, and I get the same hash code. If I put minus 128 and minus 128, I still get the same hash code. But if I put minus 129, then I get a different hash code. Okay? If I put, say, I already tried with 5. I tried 10 and 10, or minus 5 and minus 5, right? I get the same hash code. And what if I try 5 minus 10? Okay, and then I see this, and I get the same hash code. Okay, good. So we continue. What time is it? It says 17. We still have time. Okay, so another string builder. I think we have covered a lot today. String builder, my builder equals new string builder, and then this system as a size. Guys, just pay attention to this because this may be in your exam. Okay, so if I take a look at this, the size of this builder is 0 right now. But look how interesting this is now. This capacity equals my builder, that capacity. See this, 16. Very important. Every string builder, the capacity by default is 16. Don't forget that.
What is capacity? 16. Sorry.
That was exactly my question. What is capacity?
Capacity is just a property of that string builder. It is a capacity that it has to put elements inside, but it begins with 16. That number starts at 16. If I put here Java, the capacity is going to be 20. It's just the number that begins at that particular in the Java string builder.
So while the string starts the index in 0, let's say like that, capacity starts at 16.
Correct. So the capacity method of the string builder class is used to return the current capacity of the string builder object. The capacity is the amount of storage available to insert new characters. Okay. So by default is 16. Now you are 1, 2, 3, 4. The capacity is going to be 20. Okay. So if you put Java is great, then the capacity is going to be 29 and the size is going to be 13. Remember the size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The capacity is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Remember? Don't count 16. Start at 17. Okay? So this returns size equals 13 and capacity. That for sure, most likely, is a question in your exam. Okay? Capacity and size. Okay. What if I have this? Well, intelligent is telling you. Okay. So I think that probably I can just reassign the value, all right, and say that the capacity is 100, but the size is 0. Because if you see a number inside the parentheses, that's the capacity. Remember, StringBuilder is a string, right? You have to see something between quotation marks for that to be string, for that to be a value of the StringBuilder. If you see a number, that's the capacity. Okay? And by default, the size is going to be 0. Okay? Don't forget that. It doesn't work. Okay? I have another one. So size is 0, capacity is CM. It's 100. Okay? Now we have StringBuilder. A equals new StringBuilder. And then we say this, this space there. There's a StringBuilder. B equals A append Java space. And B equals B append is, and then append space so, and then append. Cool. System out A So guys, what do you think is going to return? What do you think is going to be the value of A and the value of B?
A is going to be this, and then B is going to be Java ISO. Oh, wow.
Remember, you're assigning the value of A to B. It means that whatever you do to B is going to affect A. Okay? So, when the objects of the StringBuilder are linked like this, whatever you do to this one that received the value of the other will affect the other one. And that's what we see here. All right? You guys probably thought, well, I assign this value to B and just forget about A. A is not be affected anymore. Run. Whatever you do with B will also affect A. Okay? Because we're creating another object, and then we're assigning this object to this object. So the two objects are linked now. Whatever you do to B is going to affect A. You'll probably see it to B again. And I say B equals B, append, high, high, high. Okay. You see? And if I do A equals, say, append, oh. So what do you think?
Wow.
Awesome, huh? The two objects are linked. If you don't do this operation here, they are completely independent. Okay?
Which operation?
This one.
So how we can do it independent?
Oh, you create another object of B and say new StringBuilder. Sorry. And then give it a value or no value. Okay, that's independent.
So I can
No.
can I say, for example, new StringBuilder for B and assign a Java?
Sorry?
For B, I assign new StringBuilder, but can I assign a, like the way you have it at this moment inside of the StringBuilder from new StringBuilder from B?
Yeah.
Put a dot append Java and make them individual?
Like this?
No. The way that you have it, B equal new StringBuilder, and inside a dot append Java. No, yes, that. Can I do that?
Yes. And the
make an individual. So
yes, and the two values are different. You see the values are different? Because you just separated them, right? The way it was before, you were linking them, right? Now, whatever happens to one will happen to the other one. Okay? Now they're linked, right? If you append A down here, it will come here and affect this one. And that will be assigned to B. Right? And if you change B as they are linked to A, also A is affected.
Any change to A is affects to B, and any change to B affects to A. Correct. Like that.
Correct. If I change B again, and I say B append, I can see how shocked you are with this. Right? That's B, right? Then yes. B will affect
and affects to A too.
Yeah. Or vice versa. Right? That's a good thing about, well, it's not only about string builders for every object that you can change and you do that. Every object is a string builder. They're linked and they will be affected both ways.
When you let's say initialize an string builder, okay, the way that you did with A, that you put this inside, it has to be a string, cannot be like another method inside?
Like calling a method?
Yes.
For example, this?
For example, you have A equal new string builder, and you have a string in there that says this.
Okay.
Instead of saying this,
yeah,
will be another method?
Maybe like this. Is that what you mean?
Well, at that moment, we're initializing a string with a name. No, I say inside of the string builder.
Like here?
Yes, right there.
You mean a method?
Yes.
For example, let's say public static void string return value, and then we say this. I know what you mean. Okay. I can do this. Yeah, but this cannot be here because method cannot.
It's inside of the structure.
They cannot overlap. It has to be outside.
It's inside of the structure. Okay.
Yeah, static. Okay, and then I'm going to say return Java. And then I can call the method here. There you go.
You can.
This is a string. You see, it's a method, but it's a string because you're returning a string here.
Exactly. So you can create a method after the block.
Yeah. In Java, it doesn't matter where you put it.
Oh.
Java will find it. Okay. I know in Python you have to put it, define it first, and then call it.
Yeah.
In Linux too, but in Java you can put it anywhere. I can put this method here if I want to.
As soon as it's inside of the
Yeah, inside the class, still it works. You know, it's a Java. You know, maybe I can return here space, and then I have Java. It's right there. Okay. Remember that we see this as a method, but what it is basically a string. This is a string because we're returning in the method a string. So what's coming here is a string. So this is the same as Java, right? But it's in the form of a method call. You're calling the method. Okay. Good, guys. Thank you for the ideas.